She was complaining of back pain and neck pain, and she was a gymnast, so we had the thought that she probably got hurt in the gym. And then she started vomiting randomly, and then she came home from school and she had told us that her arm was tingling.
We went to the emergency room, and then we found out after an MRI.
And then after surgery, we were told that it was glioblastoma. They didn't think she was going to be able to walk afterwards, and she surprised everyone. She even walked the balance beam at physical therapy. That was really fun to see.
She was so creative, and she would draw all the time.
She would do it to get through appointments. She did a hyperbaric chamber, and she would just sit in there and draw for the hour that she was in there. And she'd come out with some amazing pictures. We live in a neighborhood with tons of kids from every age, and since we moved in 7 years ago, she drew people in. And it just continued on until she passed. I mean, they never left her side.
I went to work every day, sit down and start working. The minute I stood up, an explosive headache, and then after about 20 minutes it'd go away and I'd sit down and work again. And that happened over and over and over again until finally I called my doctor and said, well, yeah, I'll come in. This is gonna be stupid. You're gonna tell me I have a sinus infection, but what the heck? And he said, well, there's something in your head that really doesn't belong there, but we really need a better image. So I'd like you to get an MRI. And so they shot the image, and he walked down, put his hand on my shoulder, he was crying. He just said, I'm so sorry. So sorry. That was when I knew I had a problem.
I think he's doing actually really well. I mean, look at him. We go to the gym, we go for walks, we are trying to stay as healthy as we can because we know that this fight is ongoing and we're not going to be able to address treatments and therapies without being healthy. So I think he does a fantastic job of, regardless whether he's tired or doesn't feel good, you know what, I gotta get the job done. I'm happy to say that it's been a year and a half, so we're doing something right.
Being in the water and being at a lake and skiing was sort of my family's thing when I grew up.
Jim really isn't in a situation with his vision to be able to ski anymore, and I was really sad about that because he's really good. He's also always been really passionate about it, and he said, you know, I am so lucky to have been able to do that for so long. It was really fun.
I said from the start, you know, unfortunately brain cancer is a game of takeaway, and they take stuff away and they don't give it back. So you got to figure out how to work with what's left and adapt to what you can do and what you can't do.
Years ago in the summer, I was really thirsty all the time, and then I was also having terrible headaches.
So Leah was misdiagnosed 2 different times, and so it was a very long journey to figure out the correct diagnosis. And then they did a brain biopsy that diagnosed accurately that it was a germinoma, that she had cancer.
And so it was so nice to finally have like this is what it is, we've treated it hundreds of times before, and so we know exactly what to do, and this is how we're gonna do it.
Our dog was the most amazing therapy animal.
Mocha was always there with me. She visited me a couple times at Children's, and when I was at the Mayo, we were staying at this hotel, and we snuck Mocha in the hotel, and I got to see her for a couple hours.
We have a place in northern Minnesota where we have some hunting land, and she loves to go along. I'm not exactly sure if Leah does it because she loves it or because she just loves me, but I'm not gonna ask.
Her dance studio has been so supportive.
This year, they have really let me just come and go whenever I feel like I can. And so it was really nice to be a part of that team that really stuck by my side, and that really meant a lot to me.
Kathy Shibrowski. She was my wife, Michael and Aaron's mom. She was a nurse and just a great person. Well, she had stayed out at our lake home to do some work, and she called and said, I couldn't close the garage door, which is just push a button, but she drove home, passing 3 different hospitals on the way. So she made it to Plymouth, to West Health, and then called and said, hey, I'm here, something's wrong. So it's about a clementine-sized orange in the right parietal side of her brain, and they did a craniotomy. And she had clear stents for about 18 months, and then in June of 2016, had her recurrence.
My older brother, Aaron, was getting married that following August. So she elected to do the craniotomy, ended up having some complications. She had a stroke in the hospital. She made it to the wedding, and then was able to share kind of the mother-son first dance with him and be out of the wheelchair a little bit, so it was pretty cool.
She always wanted to be a nurse, and she was at Alina for 32 years, critical care, ICU, cardiac, and then she did some palliative care, end of life.
You know, she actually gave us a book that she had from her previous role in the medical field and kind of doing end-of-life care, and asked us to read it just to kind of mentally prepare us. But I think it was hard on her because it's that fear of knowing what's going to happen. But again, her faith was so strong, she trusted in God, and she knew that as a family and a support system, we could get through it together. My brother and my father and myself are all very alpha personalities, but my mom was definitely the leader of our family. Hockey was a big part of our family. You know, my brother and I both played all the way through college. She went with stride and became a hockey mom and would drive us to 6 a.m. practices, and she really got joy in seeing us excel in sports.
She loved the outdoors, she loved to explore, she just loved life.
She was never down.
She bubbly.
Always laughing. She just found the light in everything.
I don't like being mad. It's just not a feeling I enjoy.
She never lost herself. Like, she never got lost in sadness or anger. Obviously there was sad moments, but she's the exact same kind, generous person that she was before, and the Leah that we all know and love.
I always tell people who call, I said, don't call and ask about me. Call Susan and ask how she's doing, because her job's 100 times harder than mine. We all know what's happening to me, but she's taking care of me, plus all of this, plus the house and all the errands.
We don't have very much control over any of this, so if I have the opportunity to say, come on tomorrow, I'm ready, bring it on, because every tomorrow is, I mean, come on, another day that you get to be alive.
Even in the darkest hours, Kathy always tended to find humor in her illness that would often put others at ease.
Yeah, we had a lot of laughs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of laughs. Her dancing.
Yeah.
She would just start dancing, just in the middle of the kitchen. We are known as the Mertz Zoo, yes. Our 3 dogs. We bought Maddison lizards. We have hamsters. She got chinchillas. Oh, we have a guinea pig too.
So Leah's had a couple people say to her, wow, I love your haircut. That must have taken a lot of courage to cut it off that short. She just wanted to say to the person, like, yeah, my oncologist did it, really.
We hadn't even had first surgery yet. I decided let's show some support, and it all came right off. And they kind of waterfalled from there with Sean, Jack, my mom even following suit. And all of a sudden we all had no hair.
So it should be noted, we did this in preparation for chemo. Chemo didn't make his hair fall out. The only hair that he lost was where radiation was. He otherwise had hair everywhere.
But when the doctor came in, he was kind of quiet, and I think he was trying to figure out how he was going to tell her. So he was kind of fumbling through it, and she leaned over and put her hand on his leg and said, you know, you have to work on your bedside manner.
You know, we've joked forever our entire marriage about how grumpy he is.
My dad is chock full of jokes. He just doesn't smile.
He smiles with his eyes.
You know, you gotta manage your personal bubble or else everybody wants in.
I hope that we can move forward without worrying every time she gets a headache and worrying every time she's not feeling good.
I hope that I can go on and live not a normal life, because I think that'd be boring, but I hope I can go on and live a awesome life.
There is hope and there is love, and just because you have a sickness doesn't mean you stop.
We're both really grateful that for right now we still seem to have been given the gift of more time to keep working on it.
I'm just trying to make this as good as it can be for as long as I can.
Maddison used to go around and dress up. Didn't matter what time of the year it was, and she would go and ask for candy from all of our neighbors. So the kids this year, they all got together, wore pink, and went around and asked for donations. And then that money goes towards research.
But yeah, everything we do, we wanted to help.
Hearing the words, we've been down this path before, and we have tools to fix this. Those tools were earned through research. And I'm the benefactor of that. My my family is the benefactor of that. Our community is the benefactor of that.
There's no way it will change if people aren't supporting research. They're trying to find something that's going to hopefully one day stop this.
Anything you can do helps.
Your donations, they will go towards research that will create better and less painful ways to solve these diseases. So I think it's very important, and it's also very kind and generous.